Get into the papers. I'm holding the Spectator, your weekend companion. Some of the stories you'll find. 2 children die of malnutrition every hour. Wow. NTC's Geoffrey Buta nominated for Joy FM Impact Makers Award. Naomi Ohene Oti makes Ghana proud, wins $250,000 Global Nursing Award in Dubai. And what a rousing welcome her nursing people gave her at the Kutika International Airport. On the back page, Spectator Sports, Black Rockets are hope for years to come. And can Holy Stars spoil Nations FC's party? I have the Mirror, Ghana's most popular weekend paper. Some of the stories you'll find. AI and the tourism experience. Fashion for charity. Nana Kwesi Jan Apinting, former Mirror editor, columnist, passes on. Exercises turn Ayi Mensa Pindias stretch into dumping ground. And on the back page of the Mirror Sports, Nations FC face crucial test against Basake Holy Stars.
Let me start off with this really big story from last night that has got a lot of people excited and applauding the wonderful institution CTFM and ChannelOne. So, the CTFM Foundation was adjudged the media hero at the MTN Heroes of Change grand finale yesterday. And congratulations to all of us here at ChannelOne TV and CTFM, basically for the work we did during the Akosombo Dam spillage.
Oh, I remember.
So that's really the big story. I'll still stay on City Newsroom before I bring the big headlines on Daily Graphic. Wontumi's lawyers meet bail conditions. That's the big story coming in this morning. Wontumi lawyers have met the bail conditions, but we don't know whether he's been, released. So we're keeping a keen eye on that particular story. Improved service quality by December will face heavy fines. Some George warns telcos. 37 military hospital shuts emergency unit for fumigation from June 4 to 14th. Also here, Tema West MCE pledges swift reclamation of Klagon Ramsar site. Wontumi seeks review of bail conditions at High Court. We don't know of Chairman Wontumi's whereabouts. That's coming from the MPP. 58 million National Cathedral pit must be investigated. And that's coming in from the Doma Hene. We'll work to ensure Wontumi's release. Former Vice President Baumia, who I must say was present yesterday at the NIB, office to check on the embattled MPP Ashanti Regional Chairman Wontumi. Also here, Baumia urges calm as confusion grows over Wontumi whereabouts. Mahama slams MPP over deceptive Sunyani Hospital upgrade. Some more stories. Kufuor endorses National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving. And rather tragic, right? Because we were discussing this last week on the show. Last week Sunday on Sunday breakfast. Mentally ill man beheads foreigner in Tema. I know, gory. Beheads foreigner in Tema. Tragic story. And we're talking about this very same thing, mental health concerns and the challenges they posed just last week on Sunday breakfast. Very tragic to read this morning that a mentally ill man has beheaded a foreigner in Tema. Ghana secures 80 million education boost through the landmark partnership with Skill Consortium. And Baumia has been speaking again. He says the 50 million bill set to prevent Wontumi's timely release, raising concerns about Ghana's or the government, or let me say the security agencies' willingness to release the Ashanti region MPP chairman. So these are the big stories on citynewsroom.com.
Okay, I have ChannelOneNews.com. The one, as I always say, is the digit 1. ChannelOneNews.com. So the stories you'll find. City FM Foundation celebrated as media champion at MTN Heroes of Change. Wontumi runs to High Court over 50 million Ghana City bail terms. Minority questions Ghana's WTO fisheries deal. We'll use every legal route to get Wontumi out, Harina Mohammed says. So remain calm as we secure Wontumi's release, Baumia urges MPP supporters. Other stories you'll find: G-Tech issues final warning against use of honorary doctorate. Wontumi not on hunger strike, according to his lawyer. Plane carrying Liberian president involved in landing scare. EC police collaborate on Ablekuma North results declaration plans. Government allocates 22 million Ghana cedis for rehabilitation of forts and castles. Life is improving in Nigeria, that's according to President Tinubu. Refocus on solving national issues, not political intimidation upon Komatel's government. Interior Ministry declares Friday, June 6, public holiday for Eid al-Adha. And Planning Committee rallies Guineans for National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving.
Interesting. I saw the video of some of the pastors, inviting the former president, John Ajokun Kufuor, at his private residence in Peduase. So we'll see how that particular story goes. But let me bring you the Daily Graphic Weekend Special, then maybe we can delve into some of the big stories. Commuters cry over potholes on Kaneshi Kasua Highway. Others, big story. Also here, diasporan investor pleads for justice after farm attack. Story on page 13. And on the back page, sports, how Ghana's young guns lit up the Unity Cup. It comes with a photograph of Coach Otto Addo and some Black Stars players. Really interesting performance by the young crop, especially Christopher Barbonsu, who really stood out in that particular game. So we'll see how the Unity Cup fares as a couple more games are.
They didn't take that game seriously, but they don't know that anytime we meet Nigeria,
it's a serious matter. It is not even like
there's no friendly game between Ghana and Nigeria. Everything is a serious match.
I completely feel you on this.
GhanaWeekend.com. Some of the stories you'll find there. City FM Foundation honored as media hero at MTN Heroes of Change finale. My Grammy nomination has boosted my value. That's according to Guilty Beats. Other stories you'll find: Guilty Beats opens up about humble beginnings in music production. Guilty Beats again, my unique sound helped me break into Nigeria's markets. Emmy Africa opens nominations for 10th awards, unveils anniversary celebrations. We can't ignore Akon's contribution to Afrobeats. That's according to Sarkodie. I met Thames through her manager, Wale. Guilty Beats. I almost quit music in 2015. That's Guilty Beats again. They had an interview. Ghana Weekend had an interview with him. So some of the stories, most of the stories about him. Another one, Guilty Beats confirms King Promise feature on upcoming album. My detention in police cell was a good experience. That's according to Nakoyo. Offset seeks spousal support from Cardi B in divorce filing. Can you imagine? And then more stories on GhanaWeekend.com. Dances are music's heartbeat. YTGMA must celebrate their impact. Fifi Annan writes. Another one, it wasn't because I was a bad boy. Jeffrey Norte on changing senior high schools. Ama endorsed didn't die from poison. Efia Edunum says so. Ghanaian artist Fantana surviving in the music industry as female artist is easy. Okay.
Yeah. Let me bring you the story about a mentally ill man who has beheaded a foreigner in Tema.
Yeah.
Stories on citynewsroom.com, and it was published yesterday. So residents of Tema have been left in shock following a gruesome incident in which a man believed to be mentally ill allegedly attacked and decapitated a foreign national. The chilling act reportedly occurred within the Tema township, though the exact location and circumstances surrounding the incident remain unconfirmed at this stage. Eyewitnesses say the suspect was quickly subdued and is currently in the custody of the Harbour Police Station. Preliminary reports indicate that the victim is a foreign national. However, the identity and the nationality of the deceased have not yet been officially disclosed as authorities work to notify the next of kin and complete initial investigations. And that is a story, rather unfortunate news. Last week on the show, like I said, we had a course to discuss mental health challenges, and it brought to the fore a challenge that's become both a health concern and of course a safety risk. Safety in the sense that they become, or some of the patients have become like a nuisance on our streets, right? Where they attack people. In fact, Ajubi, who was in studio to help us go through the discussion, mentioned how somebody she interviewed in the report told her that she has a special cane she uses in chasing away these mentally ill people, right? And despite all of those things, we see or continue to hear reports of how mentally ill persons are still, disturbing people in the streets. And now we have to be met with this rather, shocking story. Our commiserations with the family, and hopefully it's an awakening call, really, on the need to do better as a people when it comes to mental health and helping persons, who find themselves in that kind of situation.
Right. Let me bring our very own story on ChannelOneNews.com. City FM Foundation celebrated as media champion at MTN Heroes of Change. That story by Emmanuel Opon. The City FM Foundation, the corporate social responsibility arm of City FM and Channel One TV, has been honored at the MTN Heroes of Change Season 7 Grand Finale, receiving recognition in the prestigious Media Heroes category. The accolade, which comes with a 30,000 Ghana cedis cash prize, a plaque, and a citation of honor, celebrates the Foundation's impactful community-focused initiatives that go beyond the traditional role of journalism. The award acknowledges the Foundation's unwavering commitment to addressing societal challenges through targeted interventions in health, education, and disaster relief, among others. At the ceremony, General Manager of City FM and Channel One TV, Bernard Ablé, reaffirmed the media organization's dedication to using its platforms to drive meaningful change in society. He emphasized that journalism must not only inform, but also inspire action and directly contribute to national development. Joining Mr. Ablé at the event was the Managing Director of City FM and Channel One TV, Samuel Otamensa, who has also played a key role in advancing the station's CSR efforts. The City FM Foundation has spearheaded several impactful projects, including the Help a Christmas Child initiative, which supports underprivileged children during the festive season, and the City Opportunity Projects on Education, COPE, which provides scholarships to brilliant but needy students. A notable highlight of the Foundation's recent work includes its leadership in the nationwide relief effort during the Akosombo Dam spillage disaster. The City FM Foundation mobilized resources and constructed emergency shelters for displaced families in Mepe and other areas. In addition to housing, the Foundation also established a clinic to provide essential health care services to flood victims, an initiative that brought dignity, stability, and hope to hundreds of affected residents. These interventions exemplify the Foundation's mission to be a force for good through community engagement and empowerment. This recognition from MTN Heroes of Change not only affirms the Foundation's growing influence in the CSR space, but also highlights the critical role responsible media can play in shaping developmental outcome across Ghana. I think we deserve a round of applause. Congratulations to us. Yeah, well done. We deserve it.
Absolutely well deserved.
I remember going to Mepe at dawn to go and we were, grouped into different groups. So some went with Vivian to another part. Charles and I went with Bernard to another part, and we were scattered. I don't know. You weren't. I think you had gone on leave around that time. Or
I was very much present in every Mepe trip.
No, but the very first one you were not with us.
Which was the very first one?
The very first one, we left here Saturday dawn. That was like a week or so after the thing happened.
There are some images of every man from
Yeah, we went to Mepe at dawn. Because if you were with us, you would have been with the Bernard group, I'm sure. So now it was me.
I don't remember what you're referring to, but
the day we wore our lower Volta relief shirts.
The health one.
We went with health staff as well, but we went with the first batch of lots of items. Jude, you were not included in the very first one that we went. Trust me. I know what I'm saying.
Like, you don't know all the roles I played. For all you might know, I was an advanced team. You don't even know.
No, you know the advanced team. You know the advanced team.
I mean, honestly, I don't remember which one you're referring
Yeah.
to. But
I'm saying, if you were on that particular trip, you would remember because it's very, 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 very interesting.
The point is that I'd been to the Volta region just once
Okay.
prior to the.
So, like I was saying, we're different groups, and we went with. So we produced CNR from there. I remember that day. There was a health outreach. There were various nations of various parts of the Western region affected. We went to meet some of the children sleeping outside, not even in tents, on the bare floor. So our stuff that we took to them was a big relief for them. I remember during the evening, everybody left us, literally. It was left with myself, JB, Amos, Charles, Hanson, and we were sitting.
Oh yeah, I think I remember.
Station.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I wasn't part of that
Being
one.
bitten by mosquitoes and smelling the urine from the urinal just close to it. But we were still working. We're doing CNR. We had to cut CNR into bits, you know, the ChannelOne newsroom, so that they could get. Because if we had exported the whole file together, it would have not gone at 8, and that was the very first story. So I remember very well. It was very interesting. I think Fred did a yeoman's job. Fred and Charles yeoman's job. They were like going to Volta region every single day to report on those the floods and all of that, and I'm glad that at least. But I think we should also thank our listeners and our viewers because they helped us a lot.
Yeah.
They helped us a lot, and all the contributions that came in the form of cash, in the form of clothing, food, cement, iron rods. Every single person who donated to this worthy cause, you deserve an applause. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. I said before that I said that you've been ready. Oh, we call on you. We know that you'll answer us. So thank you very much for supporting a worthy cause. And may God bless you and replenish you. And whatever you lost or whatever you gave, and may you continue to do more when we call on you. That's it. That's it. What other stories do you have?
Like they say, like that, I can't say one from. That's what you say when somebody, you know, has spoken the thing.
Well, yeah.
You know, amazing. Like I was saying, I had been to the Volta region just once prior to the dam spillage, and in the space of like 2 weeks, I'd been there like 4 or 5 times already. You know, so it was incredible the amount and the effort, you know, we put to it. Somebody in the Volta region, I remember Amepe told me when we went to commission the health facility there, that if this was the kind of approach government would have adopted, not only to address the spillage like we saw, but other, you know, challenges that, you know, confronted the country, other disasters that confronted the country, would have been better off as a people. You know, clearly drawing the lines between the city style, right, or the city ChannelOne style with regards to how we do things, and of course, government. So shelters were built, you know, clinics were built, relief was sent, you know, and it wasn't just like relief, but like carefully tailored relief items to meet the needs of, you know, and they were so grateful that we were able to do that. So shout outs to the team.
It's unfortunate though that some of them are still living in tents as of now.
Yeah, you know, government promised to tackle the accommodation, right? But of course, we know all of the issues that came up with it. The Works and Housing Minister at the time, you know, assured that was going to take 2 weeks. It's been months, even not years now. You know, so hopefully we keep an eye. This government has set up a team to do an inquiry into how all of this even started at the first place, right? Because a lot of people within the space, some of the engineers are of the view that if it was a controlled spilling or we paid a little more attention to it, we wouldn't have gotten to this point where homes were. I went there like at the peak of it. I went there when the finance minister went to, you know, took a team of journalists to go there. You know, it was incredible, some of the areas, like houses were literally submerged. So it's good that government has taken that directive, set up a committee. It will be interesting to see what their findings are. But very importantly, beyond assessing the challenges and also help to bring relief and also to restore some of these communities to full capacity again in terms of their productivity outcomes, their economic activities that used to happen in all of those areas. Another important point is that government should find a way to make sure this doesn't happen again. So we'll be keeping a close eye on all of that work to ensure that it was a one-off thing and we don't see any of it again. I know Sam George, he has been in the news a lot. You know, the member of parliament for Ningo Pram Pram, but he's been in the news because he's communications minister. You know, he talked a lot. He was a very vocal voice, or he was a very vocal person during the previous administration. He would barely let the minister at the time, Esla, you know, get away with anything. You know, and I think that in a lot of ways, that pressure has now turned, you know, with Ghanaians demanding affordability of data on their phones and their devices. So this headline says, improve service quality by December or face heavy fine. Sam George warns telcos. This story is on thecitynewsroom.com by Letitia Osei. Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovations, Samuel Nate George, has issued an ultimatum to Ghana's mobile network operators, warning them to significantly improve the quality of their services by December 31, 2025, or face severe financial penalties, a portion of which will be directly compensate affected customers. The warning came during a high-level meeting on Friday, 30th May 2025, with the chief executive officers and the technical teams of the country's major telecom providers, MTN, Telecel, and Airtel Tigo. I can't even believe that these are the options we have, but you know me not.
Oh, you want more options?
Of course. Yeah. The minister criticized the persistent poor service experienced by subscribers, particularly in expanding urban centers and key regional towns, despite significant infrastructure investments. We are not doing sentiments, we are doing engineering. Sam George said, adding that if you have infrastructure in place, but your service is poor, you must begin to take regulatory action. The meeting also featured a presentation by the National Communications Authority based on a performance assessment in 48 localities across the country. So that's it basically. Sam George is on record to have said that the past administration, of course led by the sector minister Esla, poorly implemented the SMP, you know, policy, which made MTN, or which described MTN as a significant market player. And you know, that of course came along with its own challenges, and of course people are not taking any of that. They are saying that, see, you talked a lot, now you're in the place, show action, you know.
I saw a whole trend on Twitter under his post.
Yeah, you know, he's on record to have also said that people think that by the stroke of his pen, he can significantly reduce data costs, right? But there are videos and there are other comments attributed to him in the past suggesting that the previous administration could have done that. So they're like, you know, we are not taking any of that.
Yeah.
You know, so it'll be interesting. Of course, the MTN CEO, Stephen Blewett, MTN Ghana CEO, Stephen Blewett was there. The Telecel Ghana CEO, Mohammed Gada, was also there. And the AT CEO, Leos Kalatos, was also there. And they all had like their say in this.
I feel like, right, if you leave Accra to other parts of the country, access to internet is so bad. Even a normal call. So when I get to Kumasi
Kumasi too.
I promise you, when I get to Kumasi, my MTN, like it is not even LTE anymore. Like it drops. Like even to load one picture can take forever. Sometimes it's very annoying in parts of Kumasi. In other areas it's okay. Your Vodafone will work, but your MTN won't work. Your MTN is okay, but your Vodafone, it's very stressful.
Yeah, rich woman problems.
It's not rich woman problems.
You have two
it's not,
big.
It's not rich woman problems. It's
annoying.
I was trying to do a Zoom call.
We use Airtel to go there.
This week with what's his name, Dr. Lai, and he was just at Koforidua. He was doing a training on MPOX, and the Zoom was not zooming. The network was terrible. He'd speak at one point, he'd freeze, and to use that for, you know, news,
TV,
it doesn't cut It doesn't cut it. So
Wow.
it's very, I'm happy he's spoken to them, and I hope something is done because it's very frustrating. There have been reports from some of our correspondents in the north where people have to climb trees or stand on buildings just to make a simple phone call at this time in 2025. Come on. I think we can do better, and I'm glad that he's taken the initiative, and I hope that he holds them to his words, to the sanctions.
Users are they build such a resilient spirit, and
Really?
I have so much. I'm telling you, I have so much respect for anybody that is a Totigo because it will test.
It'll test your patience.
And if you're a Christian, it will test the fruit of the spirit at work in you. It will shake you to the core. It will test your self-control. It will test your love. It will test your faithfulness. It will test your calmness.
Why?
It will test your kindness.
Is it that bad? Is it that bad?
Even the momo, the enter to go money aspect of the business.
Right. Sometimes it doesn't work.
You go here. Oh, I want to drop 1,000 cedis. So they don't even. The vendors, the vendors themselves, they've given up on enter to go users.
So they don't have money for 80 users.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. All right, let me bring this story from the Mirror. Exercises turn Ayumensah Peduase stretch into dumping ground. A bit of the story reads, the picturesque 110-kilometer stretch from Ayumensah near Accra to Peduase Lodge in the eastern region has been turned into a dumping site. The stretch used to be a sight to behold, for which reason the vicinity attracted many to settle on the hills. The location also attracted lots of people who took advantage of the steepness, clean air and serenity to converge on the hills on weekends to exercise. Visits by the Mirror to the area, however, confirmed that patrons of the Keep Fit, aside from using the stretch for athletics, end up soiling the environments with empty plastic bottles, sachets, and other waste materials when they refresh themselves after their activities. The habit has therefore turned the entire shoulder of the Ayumensah to the Peduase Lodge section of the road into an eyesore. For instance, the Mirror observed that a section close to the Peduase Lodge, including a drain, was choked with plastic waste. Similarly, the junction opposite the Peduase Lodge, which also leads to the residence of former President John Ajakumkofo, was also littered with lots of plastics. There were also no dustbins along the stretch. Expressing concern about the littering, a resident of Peduase, Ms. Anima, appeared who asked the authorities to take bold and deliberate action to ensure the area was always clean. Have you ever done the 110-kilometer walk or jog up the Peduase? Don't worry, I haven't done it either.
Every?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
up
yeah.
the Peduase stretch.
Oh, yeah, a couple of times.
All the 110.
I didn't jog.
All the one. Okay, you didn't
I was
jog.
bricks walking. I was supposed to be jogging, but at the point I had to sometimes say walking is good. So I changed from jogging to walking.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So apparently people have been littering. I guess it doesn't. I know it doesn't even hold water. If there's no bin, I'm sure you can hold your bottle all the way to the top till you find a bin to dispose it. But just throwing it into the...
It's not even true that there are no bins, because I quite recall a couple of bins. Maybe they are not enough, but to say there are no bins,
overflowing, or nobody
probably,
empties the bin.
Probably.
But that's still no excuse. If you travel outside Ghana, Ghanaians will drink water and hold it till they find an appropriate bin and dump it in. But when it comes to Ghana, they just throw it away. It doesn't make sense. If you can do that elsewhere, you can do that in Ghana. Hold your bottle, your sachet, whatever it is, till you find an appropriate place to dump it. Leave it in your car if you have to, but to throw it into the environment, because plastic takes a long time to disintegrate. I mean, come on. We're fighting plastic pollution and every other thing. You can't do that. There's something they call Accra by night, also along that stretch.
Where people go and park their cars and they're just
doing their things there.
People who do that, they don't have problem.
That's little space. Either they don't have problems.
It's two things. It's either you don't have problem, or
what? Or what?
Or your problems are way too much. So you want a place as an outlet.
I think it's a nice place to go sit and just look at the cluttered lights of Accra and enjoy.
For what?
The breeze.
To do what?
It's nice.
Oh, please.
It's relaxing.
You don't have problem.
Hey, Jude.
If you have
Would you like to change your mindset? I'll take you there. Just go sit there. You don't even have to talk. Just sit there.
And do what?
And relax.
You put
and watch the lights.
You put mosquito repellent on yourself.
There's no mosquitoes out
there.
There
are no mosquitoes there.
There are no mosquitoes up there, trust me.
You'll be sitting in
And
your
the
car.
smell is different.
The smell is different.
No, you won't sit in your car.
You'll be standing there.
You get out and you can decide to relax on your car or the ledge there and just watch the cluttered lights of Accra.
So that what?
You are relaxing your mind. Were
Your
you
mind.
not here at the mental health talk yesterday? Yes. It's an avenue to relax your mind.
What happened
All
to
the stresses of Accra, leave it in Accra.
go to
Come
a
and just relax a little. It's nice. It actually is very nice.
We'll see, maybe I'll try one of these
Yeah,
days.
you should.
I
Accra
think,
by
I
night.
think it's a good
It's
idea.
nice. It's nice. But I mean, what I was trying to say is that they've also started littering that little space. And so if people have started complaining, I think authorities should do something about it. All right. Do you have any stories? Let's go.
Yeah, I think that's it. All the big stories. I
So
wanted
that's,
to
you wanted
bring
to...
but yeah, I think it speaks for itself. Commuters crab at potholes on Kaneshi Castle High. I've used that stretch a couple of times. It's beyond
Potholes
terrible.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think it's one of the things that Regional Minister mentioned, aside the lights, that she'll be working on. So let's hope that she does it quickly. But we'll be going on a short break. Do not touch your remote. We'll be right back with one of our favorite segments on the show. What's happening?